What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Bill, and today Matt is back yet again. He loves this place.
Yeah, apparently.
He just loves making the drive up here. But in the last video, you saw we did a bit of a lift. It is it's pretty tall. It's, you know, trying to step up there is not an easy task. So what we have is the Rockslide engineering power steps, which is going to give him some protection, and it's going to give him a boost to get up there, so make it much easier. So with that, I guess we'll go ahead and dig into these boxes, and hopefully we have everything that we need for this. All right, I'm liking this hard.
What, you mean it comes with written instructions?
Written instructions, and they're printed and in color.
Color me impressed.
Yes. We have 1 step, 2 steps, 1 for each side. We've got some rubber that goes along the inside that rubs up against the paint, so it's not metal on metal. They have some printed color instructions, a box for electronics, and then a box for brackets. And that should be everything that we need. So go ahead and dig out the instructions just to double check. Then we'll dig into the electronics, which should just be one big wiring harness, and start routing that. Okay, so we got one big harness. A couple of things have changed. They install a kill switch on there that goes in the engine compartment. And then the switch, they have 2 different switches that they might include with the kit. So they actually give you like a call out, hey, read this before you install, and the same with the kill switch. So they point those things out because it's outside their normal instructions, and then their instructions themselves look awesome, very thorough. And I remember we did the this install in the Jeep, and they had really good instructions. It's just that they weren't for the model that we were working on at the time. But yeah, we got all our brackets, our switches, our hardware, everything. The kit looks complete, so we'll go ahead and start running this. All right, so the wiring harness, we have positive that goes into the kill switch, and then I have a ground. So we need to run those up from underneath and into the battery. Oops, helps if I point to where I'm pointing. So we'll run that up, and we'll just come under here where this is, run it under back behind the body mount that we did, and fish it up through here so that we can connect that to the battery, and then put the kill switch there, and then the rest will run back. All right, so like I said, it's running behind the body mount. We'll run it along with this wiring, and then we can zip tie it going back to this existing wiring harness on the way back from there. It looks like this Christmas tree just goes through this hole and through this hole here on the battery terminal.
Now, how do we know when it's on and off?
That little plate right there says on and off.
Right, but if you flip it the other direction.
Oh, it's keyed, so
oh, okay.
It only fits in there one way.
Gotcha. Makes sense now.
Yeah. And what I was saying, like right here along the bottom, there's like a little indentation. So this plate only fits on there one way, so you can't get it twisted on there, so it's on off in the wrong direction, showing in the wrong direction. And then that just slides over, screws on to make it a little bit more weather resistant. Put that in there. So you have your kill switch here, and we can hook our power So our kill switch is off. Our fuse is out. So we can go ahead and connect this power. Although, I don't know why they all came with one that doesn't have a nut on it.
Huh.
I don't know why. Everyone I've seen has that one nut missing. And then we can close that up. We will eventually need to put the fuse in there. And then the ground, we can just come over here. Why we went ahead and connected everything, doesn't have power going through it because we got the fuse out and in the cup holder. But that shows us exactly where this is going to sit, so we don't have to leave extra space or not leave enough space. So now we know exactly how much wire we need up here, and we can route it amongst all the other wires.
Feel free to zip tie any of those together that you want.
Yeah. Let's add it to the collection.
The bird's nest.
So there's a drain that's right about here, far back, and that's where we're going to go up into the bottom. So we're just going to run this along until we get there, and then that's where this first split should come, and that's going to get fed up, and then this other wire is going to get fed across to the passenger side and up into the cabin in the same spot right about here in the back seat. That's if you have the 4-door. If you have the 2-door, I don't know. All right, so the drain where that's coming up is going to be right about here. It's not this center floor drain. If you have the washout floor, it's not that drain, because that you still want to be able to wash out. So to get to it, we're going to have to pull this piece out here of molding. This should just pull right up. And we got a removal tool, just so we don't break any clips. And here you can see that's where he has his power wires running for his amp. But now if we pull, if you have carpet, it would be carpet that you pull up here. If you have the rubber mat, just pull the rubber mat up. And I can't get out of my own way here. And right there is the plug we want to pull out. Alright, so it's a drain plug, and we're going to replace it with a rubber grommet that they've provided. I wanted to double check the instructions, make sure we are running everything. So the door connectors, D and E, so that's the green and black wire, and the blue and black wire. We cut a slit here through the grommet just so we can feed that through. This other that's going to go up to the front to the switch, which is this black and red. Depending on the switch, this might be black, red, and yellow. We have the two colored switch, so it's just the two. It doesn't have the yellow. The yellow provided the backlight if you had the illuminated switch, but I guess people were complaining that that was too bright. Now this other run of wires is going to run up underneath and over to the other side. And so 1, 2, 5 more zip ties. There's a cross member that goes over right underneath there. So it just zip tied to that. There's an existing wire loom going across there. So just tied into that. And then on this side, it's going to be the same thing. where we take this panel off, pop the same drain out and replace it with the grommet. So we have this blue and black wire that's got to go up to the front door, and then this wire. So we're just going to tuck that up underneath, and then this green and black is going to stay back here. This has to go all the way forward. So I'm taking this floor mat out too.
You are getting ready to die. 1%.
I was like, I'm sorry, okay. I didn't realize you were so bad. Alright, so we've got this wire run up here. The blue and black for this door is right here. And now this wire needs to go all the way forward. It's going to run up underneath here, and we're going to attach the switch right here. So for right now, I'm just going to run this wire up underneath, along inside here, and kind of back behind the footrest, and then I'll pick back up when we're connecting it to right there. Alright, so I'll steal this from you. We got the wire, and it's just coming up on top of the step right there, and we're going to lower this panel. There we go.
So,
and now we're just going to take one of these this bolt here out, and instructions say that bolt there, but I don't see. Okay, yeah, it looked like it was connected there for a second. I was like, I don't see how that's going to work. But yeah, so we need to take this bolt here out, which looks like it's about 7mm. Yeah, so that's a screw right there. And what we're doing is we're just putting this up there. I think I'm laying on it. I'm just putting that back in place and putting that screw right back in, which it had plenty of thread, so we're not. So when this is closed, you'll have your button right there. Those wires through, and we're going to connect the red and black. I'm gonna go double check that that's what that was. I'm pretty sure it was red on top, black on the bottom. Yeah, only fits in there. Okay, so it's left and right. I thought it was up and down that it was supposed to go. Yeah, there's a slit on the bottom and there's a little key on there, so it only fits in there one way. If you ever need to take it out, you can squeeze behind it and pop it out, but you got the left and right switch. Now on the passenger side, did the same thing. We got the blue and black sensor running up here where it's going to connect, and then the green and black. There's more than enough green and black wire, which just goes right around here somewhere, and then the blue and black in the front, same as the driver's side. Now we're to the point where we can start putting the actual steps on, because as you go through, put the steps on, get everything connected, then when you're wiring up the door switches, you can test them, make sure everything's working. So we'll go ahead and get one of these apart. And important, it says it here on the bag, it's important to run this rubber seal along the edge. Also, first step here is, hey, it's important, do not skip this step, install that. So I think they really want us to make sure we put that rubber on there, so I think we're going to put that rubber on there. Once again, I think they really want us to install that rubber piece, so we're going to install that. I'm just going to go along here, and Matt made a good observation that we still need to take the existing rails off. So we'll do that as well. Well, that's as on there as it's going to get. To take the old rock rail off, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's 8 10mm bolts that are going through the pinch weld. So we need to take those off, and then I believe it's 13 or 15mm bolts holding the brackets on. We'll take those out, and there's 1, 2, 3 of those, I believe. So I'll get started taking these 10mm nuts off of there. Well, this should. Oh, we got a chunk of dirt holding it.
Oh, there's some interlake on you.
Now on the back there's this mount and that mount that need to be removed, and it's just 1 bolt on top, I think, which is also a 13mm. Alright, so we need to take these 2 bolts out here. Should be a 10mm, and we're gonna put this spacer plate on there like so. We're gonna reuse this bolt, but then on the front it's going to use this black button head bolt, and I guess that's just to keep this pinch weld everything closed together. But this will get hidden by the step, this won't, so they just to prettify it, I guess, is why they're putting that on there, because I did notice that the steps don't quite come all the way forward, so I guess they put that there to.
I'll put you on speaker, and can you go over that again one more time?
Yeah, so what you do is you leave the 2 brackets that go onto the body mounts. Leave those off. We've been running those without those since day 1.
Yeah, that's kind of what I assumed, but good to hear hear that from you.
Yep, yeah. And we've bent those Rockslides in a U, like bad, and we've never had it bend in the body. Like, it's been phenomenal setup the way we've done it.
Excellent, thank you for that. Yeah, we assumed, I was looking at it, I was like, I assumed they just left those off, but I'm glad you verified that for us.
Yeah, we wanted to.
Alright, so update. We're just talking with guys over at Bronco, because we realized with this body lift, these mounts are going to be off, the ones that normally go to here. And so we are just running the 3 inside mounts. So we're not going to use the ones that go to the body, or to the body mount bolts. So I'm going to tighten those back down before I forget about it, and then we'll continue on with the others. All right, so these 3 mounts get attached with these bolts. The instructions say 10mm bolts, so I looked and looked for 10mm bolts, which seemed like that would be small. And it's not 10mm, they're actually 15, but there's 10 of them, 5 for each side. There's 1 for this front bracket, and then the middle 2 get 2 in each one. And this first one is going to get mounted up in this hole where we took the first mount, and then the second 2 are going to get mounted the top hole bolt there and bottom bolt there, and same over here where we took those other mounts, the OEM mounts, off. So the mounts are loosely in place. We are ready to bring in the step.
Okay, up into the pinch welds.
Yep.
All right.
We gotta tilt it down, the back end down a little bit, but I'll get these started first, and then we can work with that. Okay, so the rail is on. You have this bracket, then you've got 4 bolts going into the bottom of each one. Same up front. Now, if you didn't have the body lift, there'd be another bracket on the front there that's connected to this body mount. But as you can see, that's a few inches off, so that doesn't line up anymore. So we're using these 3 brackets, and then The wiring harness, this is where it goes up into the cabin, and then there's 3 connectors here. One goes to this yellow and red, the other goes inside to the step motor right here, and then the third is if you have the optional lighting, which we don't have right this minute, so we just tucked that one away. But if you have the optional lighting, it just plugs in and then runs through there. So this side is installed. Definitely looks good. It is going to protect you from door dings, grocery carts, or anything like that on the side. Hopefully, well, you're tall enough now that you shouldn't be rubbing on too many things on the trails, at least the ones around here. But it should protect you if you do manage to get stuck on a rock or anything. And now we got to do the same thing on the other side. Now, one thing to note, these studs are not all the same. There's a skinny one that does use a 10mm bolt, or nut that came off, but they supplied ones with nylocks on there. But that's the regular size, and that's a regular size. Then the other 4 are larger for some reason. I don't know why those 2 are skinny and the rest are larger, but when trying to get the nuts on there, I realized they're not going on, and that's why, because they're actually 2 different sizes there. But yeah, we'll put the rubber seal on here, and step goes on exactly the same, and then we'll catch back up when we start lining up the door sensors. Alright, steps are on. The last thing, everything's bolted in, everything's tight. Wires are connected. The only thing left to do now is we need to connect these connectors here to the actual door switches and put the magnets on. Okay, so the front driver's sensor is supposed to go right about there, so we can mark that where that's going to go, and then we got to mark over on the door where the magnet itself is going to go. Alright, so to get this lined up, we got this pad on here, and you put the magnet in there. So we did that, but we just put some 2-sided tape on the magnet to see exactly where the magnet stuck on this side, which was right there. So that's where we put the sensor. And now we're going to test it to see if it actually works. Okay, so the instructions clearly state, do 1 sensor at a time, get everything lined up, test it, turn it off, go to the next one. We found problems doing that, and nothing was working until we actually connected all 4 sensors, and it was still acting funky until we got everything set up and lined up. So we didn't really record much of it because it was mostly us scratching our heads wondering, why isn't this working? But here's where the sensor is on the front, and then you got the magnet on the door there. Open the door, it opens the circuit, the step comes down. Same in the back, that sensor sitting there. And the same on this side, same on the other side. Was a little worried there for once we started playing with the sensors, because, you know, according to the instructions, you should be able to just hook one up, test everything should work normally, but that was not the case. Once everything was connected, then it started acting right. So hey, we are back. Matt brought it back when we had some more light to work with. These steps are turned off, which is fine, because what we're going to do next is add the doors off kit. So we gotta move the front seat all the way forward. So here's that plug right there. You can see it. Just pulls out right like so. And that clip is going to go in, slide on there. And I actually grabbed the right one, I guess. Or I guess it
doesn't matter.
Yeah, because you can flip it. Yeah.
I just thought of that.
And then it just screws in like so. All right, so next we're going to take our wiring harness, feed it back through, connect our connector, and we'll do this on each side. So this is, the instructions said you could do black and red on either side. I'll slide those in. And then there's a little plastic piece there that should line up with that hole. And it just pushes in. So now it's a push in and push out again, so it pops back out button. And I'll do the same on the other side. And then we just got to take these up and connect those to the wiring harness we already ran. So this wire is just gonna feed underneath this trim right here.
Should I push it back in?
Yeah.
It's not in. There.
All right, now there's a split right here in this panel, so one of these will go into the split and then back, maybe. Goes. And now we're just going to unplug our sensor that we had and plug this in line with it. So that's going to be that sensor. And then where we plugged this one in here, disconnect, and then these will just get plugged in like so. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side and test everything before we button anything up. Yeah, so that switch should, I was thinking it was disable it if it was down, but no, it's the doors off kit, so it should act like you push it to open it or close it. So your doors are off. Your doors are off, so when there's nothing to open to put the step down, so you push the button, climb in, and then reach down, push it again, and it should bring it up. Now that it's cycled through, it should be yeah, I don't know how that's going to be confusing with the doors when you put the doors back on, or maybe not. But yeah, because the purpose of that switch is there's nothing to tell it the door's open if the doors are off. So you have that switch you can push to climb in or climb out. And then when the doors are on, it should just work like normal. So we could button that all up inside, and then we got one more thing to do, which is add the lights, which is, the lights are pretty easy to put in. There's one more harness, and just run the actual lights in here and tape them, and there's 3M tape on the back side of them, so whenever the step comes down, the lights turn on, so you can actually see where your step is. So I'm just gonna kind of run them into position. And then we can see where we need to clean. And this should go back. And there's this extra harness here. This is going to feed through like the other wiring does. Hole in the back. And just snap together with this waterproof . That's tight. It is definitely waterproof. Oh, and then you can see that the lights are on, where you want to mount them at. So that's right about where that one's got to be. Yeah, right here on the body, it's kind of angled. I think that's probably going to be the best spot for it, where it's pointing out and down and out, not just straight down, or not just straight out. So right there. Then this, if we do it all the way forward, there we go. Now, when we close the door, step's going to go up, and the lights went out. Voila! Door opens, lights come on, step goes down. Beautiful. So now we just gotta tuck these wires in, put the panels back together, and this should be done. So took a couple of trips to get the full thing done, so unfortunately it didn't all go in one session, but we did have one issue where I was having problems with the passenger side. The motor got stuck, or the step got stuck down, and it was down for what, 2 days?
Yeah.
And then it did go back up, but it was kind of flapping there. Rockslide engineer was super awesome. He called them, and they sent him out the replacement control panel and motor, which is all kind of one unit. The only thing that sucks about that is you do have to take the step down to replace it, but once you get the step down, it's fairly simple to replace, and that seemed to solve all the problems. So yeah, there was an issue, but they, quickly corrected it. We were able to get everything put back together and get his other switches in and the lights in. So finally wrapped up the Rockslide engineer power steps for the Bronco. Step sliders, yes, because they are not just power steps. You are supposed to be able to bash some rocks with them, and they're supposed to hold up, which from everything I've seen some abuse videos on these, and they do hold up pretty well. So yeah, thanks again, Matt, for coming out, letting me experiment on your vehicle, on your baby. But yeah, make sure to check out Tattoo Matt 71 on Instagram or here on the channel, because he's always here. No. But yeah, no, I really do like these. Like I said, their support seems to be top notch. They are on the expensive side, but I mean, They back everything up with super effective, fast, and painless support. And hopefully that's the only issue that you run into with them. But yeah, I think that's going to go ahead. Are you upside down? You are upside down. I think that's going to go ahead and wrap up everything for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.